Welcome to my session. This session is all about integrating the Power BI report in Power Apps. I have been watching this session. So this is Power BI reporting. Let's switch the gears. Let's switch to other side of the Power Platform world. How we can leverage all these excellent capabilities onto Power App, wherein end user can leverage all the features on a device where they can carry everywhere. So that is all about this session. Before any further delay, a quick introduction about me. Who is Krishna? I'm 16 years of IT experience guy. I'm a Power Platform solution architect and a Power Apps community super user. I've contributed 300 plus solutions in the community. And I'm a Office 365 and local user active speaker. I'm a MVP and a Microsoft certified trainer. I am also started contributing my knowledge on my YouTube channel. I'm a newbie on the YouTube. So that is where my YouTube channel, if somebody want to subscribe to that, you can scan that code and you can get into my channel and you can subscribe onto that. So what that my channel is all about is I always look at the community and grab all the frequent questions and I'll look for a best solution for those frequently questioned problems. Okay. Today's agenda is what is new with SharePoint Auto Power BI reporting, render the SharePoint Power BI in Power Apps, create a Power BI report, publish the report to a workspace, migrate a report to a dashboard, schedule a report to auto refresh and the schedule. Last but not least, render the Power BI in Power Apps. As I said, it is all about integration. Just to ensure that my OS is clear, I'm just turning off my camera. Just please confirm me, is my vocal clear or cutting up? Because this is what the complaint I have seen from few of other sessions. Is my vocal clear?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation. Okay. So first thing, before we integrate or before we leverage SharePoint with Power BI, we should understand what are all the features need to be available and what are all the features need to be enabled to leverage this feature. So let us see what we have to leverage is when you go to Power BI admin portal. Under Power BI admin portal, we need to ensure that this particular feature is enabled. If you are not enabled this, you will not be able to leverage Power BI capabilities on top of SharePoint. Okay, I repeat, you need to go onto Power Apps admin portal and an admin portal, select the tenant settings, under tenant settings, integration settings, because it is an integration feature. So ensure that this feature is enabled and click apply. That is when you will get to see the beautiful feature. So how that feature look like? This is how it will look like in a SharePoint portal. When you go to any SharePoint list or a document library, you will be able to see an option called integrate. Under integrate, you go to Power BI, you can create your visualization report. Okay, what exactly, how it works? Let us see the demo. As I said, when you enable this, you will be able to see the option to generate a Power BI report. When you go to SharePoint list under integrate Power BI, you can create a new visualization report or you can leverage the existing visualizer report or created report. So in a minute, let's see what exactly I'm planning to do as part of this session. This is the report we are going to achieve by end of this as part of SharePoint integration alone. I know it is very basic, but my intention or focus is not majorly on creating a report. Rather, I want to focus more on integration side. Having said that, let me go ahead and say visualize the report. The time you say visualize the report, it immediately opens the new Power BI under web. It doesn't go to desktop. Remember, this integration feature is not supported on the desktop as of today. So when you click on this create visualization, it immediately takes you to Power BI portal. And if you notice here, it automatically created one sample report for you. I did not do anything. What is the beauty is that when I create a report using this feature, think about the citizen developer who is absolutely new and who want to generate a report on top of their SharePoint information or SharePoint data. This is the best guy because they can create a basic level of report. And if they really want to tweak about it, they can tweak about it. If not, they can even publish it then and there. What happens when I publish it is it will ask you to create a report name. So I just named it as this. While you're creating the report, when you're publishing, it clearly says that when you publish this report back to the list, everyone who has accessed this list will able to see it, all the data. What does that really means is we all know that in SharePoint, I can restrict the permission as per the user. Some of the data I can hide as per the user. But unfortunately, when you create a report, I am creating a report as an admin. When you are creating a report as an admin, what happens? It will generate stats as per the admin login. So when it generates the status as per admin login and somebody comes who has read access, automatically they will be able to see all the data. As it says, all the data you have shared in this report. So when I say publish, it immediately publishes this report onto my list. Now, if I refresh this, by the way, what I'm doing a very basic report on country budget details. In this, I have country, state, and the budget and month and spent amount and spent category. Basically, I just wanted to show the country level, monthly level, and which region, as per the region, how I can navigate and how I can refresh my report. Now, if I go here, I will be able to see my new report. OK, and the permissions are as same as your SharePoint permissions. There is nothing you have to go and explicitly provide permissions on any of these reports. If you have access on the SharePoint list, you are very much good to use this report. But who can create a report and who can edit a report? People who have owner access on that list or like contribute member access that list with Power BI Pro license. If you don't have Power BI Pro license, unfortunately, you would not be able to do it. But the person who have Power BI license can generate a report to the nth degree and they can publish it onto the SharePoint list. Now, once I published, I'm not interested, Krishna. What should I do? You can absolutely delete that. Who all can delete? Who are all having owner access on this SharePoint list. If you are not owner, you will not be able to delete this list. Or if you are the creator of this report, you can delete it. OK, now I'm not interested in delete. Rather, let's go ahead and edit this matrix. What is this warning is? This warning says that when you switch out of this classic or the out of the box, you will not be able to do some of the operations. Summarizing pane. What does that exactly means? Now I'm not in edit mode. When I click on state name, it automatically adds another metric here and it just adjusts everything on this particular report without me touching anything. But when I click on edit on this report, I will lose that kind of quick edition or quick summary report. Now I'm okay. I'm going to just say continue. The time I say continue, it is as good as our Power BI report creation and everything is same. Now, now I wanted to remove some of these redundant data. I see this sum of spent amount month here and there also. I don't want this redundant data. Let me go ahead and remove this data, and these are all the various slices it added by default. Now let's go ahead and add the required information as per each and every slice, and let's mimic the data on that. Okay, the first one I wanted to create is I want to create under this slice. Now I want to create a visualization. The visualization I want to take is the simple chart. Click on the chart. Now I can add all my data. The beauty is when the whoever have previous experience while creating Power BI reports with SharePoint list, what happens is it will get all the data as a plain text. You will have to go and change the data type to ensure that your actual number fields are coming as number fields. But in this approach, it will not tweak the data types. It will get the data as is, and it will let you do what you wanted to do. Now I want to add the access as month and the budget as part of the value. As part of this metric, I wanted to show as the monthly budget. Okay, and go to this and enable the sorry, I don't want to enable. So this is the one, and next metric I wanted to add is the pie chart. In the pie chart, I want to show which category is related, and each category how I'm spending my budget or money. Let me push it into leftmost. Under that, now I'm going to add a pie chart. As the other speakers were saying, Power BI is very quick when you are adding reports and showing the data, slicing and dicing. As soon as you add the data, it will show the report. So that's the beauty with the Power BI. Now it is the spent category as my lesson, and spent amount is what I wanted to see as part of my value. Once that is done, there you go. I have my spent category, and if I want to change the title, I can always change the title by coming here saying like okay. Now one more is spent amount at the country level. Okay, for that I'm going to take this simple one is clustering chart. Now the first metric I wanted to add is at the country level. So access will be my country level, and the value is budget and also the spent amount. So I know how much is allocated and how much is spent for that country. Now the next one is this is good. I want to drill down a next level, which is I want to drill down by the country and the state level. If you notice my data, I have all various states for various but both USA and India. Now when I select that country, that rest of the states which are related to that should get drilled down. In order to do that, first thing we need to do is we need to add a slicer. Oh, looks like I changed this to slicer. Give me a minute. Now let me add a slicer here. Under this slicer, I want to add the map chart because tree map, because I want to see each and every country and their states. So what I need to do here is select the state as my legend grouping. And followed by my value is spent amount. There you go. I have all my states and everything. Now, if I want to show the value as part of this, data cards category. I'm missing something. Okay, I'm not a great expert in this Power BI, so I don't want to waste your time and my time. So this is the basic level of report I am generating. Now, when I just select the state or category, it automatically drill down my data. And when I just select India, it shows up there. But I'm good up to here. Now I want to show a more visual impact to the user by adding a map wherein I want to show where my data is coming from on the globe level. So for that, I'm going to add a map here. Oops. Again, I'm going to add a map. In this map, I'm going to show my state name as per the spent amount. So first legend location I wanted to show as a state name. So the time I added, I got it. Now I want to say the spent amount as part of the size, so that depends on the spent amount, it just expands. Look at the beauty. When I just say that, it automatically drill down to the country. And when I just say Bihar, it again further drill down to that level. So this will give a visual impact to the user when they are running the report. Now I'm happy with my report. Now what I am going to do is I'll say save, publish to the list. When I say publish to the list, it automatically publishes this updated report to the list. When I refresh that, and now I go here and say Power BI report. Here it is. I got my updated report. So this is how I can, my end user or the citizen developer who is absolutely new to Power BI report or Power Platform, who is a very well known person on SharePoint, can able to create the report easily. Okay. Now, what are the advantages by using this approach is by using this approach, report generates automatically, which we have just seen. I did not do anything. Without me doing anything, the basic report is already available for me. And refresh this report, get refreshed automatically every 3 hours. If we create a Power BI report and if we do not configure the auto refresh schedule, we all know that it will not get refreshed the data. But in this approach, user don't have to configure the schedule. I repeat one more time. This is mostly very handy for the citizen developers and all the newbies in Power BI, isn't it? I don't have to know where I have to go to enable this, right? Next one is I don't have to worry about sharing the report because the report will run as per the permissions and as per the hierarchy of the permissions what they have at the site level. Last but not least, citizen developer can create the report in no time. These are all the basic advantages, and as we all know, every product will have some limitations. What are the limitations for this one is configuring a schedule for these reports is as of today, no. I know it is gonna refresh every 3 hours, but if I want to pull down the refresh rate from 3 hours to 1 hour, unfortunately, as of today, it is not available. I'm sure Microsoft will come with a innovative way to show that, but as of today, no. Next one is add a report in Power BI, Power Apps. I'll park that aside because I'm going to show you a quick workaround, but it is not really that. So the third one is report cannot be find any of the workspace. Let me take a minute on this part. If you see here, I am creating a report in Power BI portal. Though I'm in Power BI portal, I should be able to see my report under any of my workspace, isn't it? So if I go to my workspace, I will not be able to see that report for sure because it will not be published onto any of the workspace. The reason behind that is when we publish it to workspace, we have to take care of this publishing and sharing the feature. But when it is not as part of that, the permissions and the access will run according to the SharePoint list. Let me take a minute to answer the questions. I see so many questions are popping up. Can this report type of reporting be done for multiple SharePoint lists together? Multiple lists together, I don't think as of today, Krishna, sorry, Kalita, as of today, it is not to best of my knowledge, but I'll explore further and I can get back to you on that. Can this report be sent to a specific set of people in the Microsoft Outlook automatically? Uh, as I said, Krishna, it is not that it sends automatically. It sits on top of SharePoint list. If they have access, it comes automatically to them to render through that. So I really did not understand what you mean by sending automatically. Schedule on every day? No, unfortunately, no. You cannot do that. As I said, scheduler is not yet available. Hope that answers your question. I have read somewhere that only pro users can view these SharePoint Power BI reports. No, everybody can view, but unfortunately, pro users can only be able to create because that is how the architecture is as of today. What version of SharePoint is necessary for this auto report functionality? SharePoint Online. SharePoint Online, they have released it and it is going to one tenant to another tenant as per the schedule. If your tenant is already part of your schedule, that schedule, you will get it. If not, just please be patient because it is coming from EMEA to US and US to other regions. It is coming. It is on its way. Can you embed this Power BI report in Power Apps? I'm coming on that. I'm coming on that. Please hold on your question. So as I said, there is next step is our integration part. What is that integration? When I go to Power Apps, go to a new report, simply I'm creating a sample, simple Power App. When I come here under insert charts, Power BI title. Up to here, we all know. But the challenge here is this control can only be able to understand the reports which are part of the workspaces. But my report is not part of the workspace. Number one, though you go to workspace, if it is not as a dashboard, you cannot see and you cannot find any title. But what is the workaround and the possible way is that copy the entire URL, select the data and just paste that URL here. It will render the report. However, you will also be able to see the top navigation, what you see exactly over here. It is just a workaround. If you ask me, I don't suggest you to use this because it will give you an option to file, save as, print this page. This will come, but it will not give you the option to publish. But the beauty is when you use this approach, you will be able to render the report. And if you notice here, I don't have any data source. Though I don't have any data source, I am able to render this report seamlessly. See here, I'm able to render. I don't have any database connected to this, but even then I'm able to use my report happily. I just wanted to answer access to the reports those have published. No. Jenny, I have created a video on my channel wherein I have explicitly walked through with 2-3 different accounts where that one of the account is absolutely a reader. They don't have the publisher. That is not the user. If time permits, I will reproduce that here also. OK, hope that helps. This is the workaround to render this Power BI report as part of the Power App. OK, this is out of the box Power BI report, which we wanted to see as part of part 1 integration. So the part 2 integration is that creating a Power BI report from the ground level with SharePoint list or any data source, no matter what data source is, whether it could be a Dataverse table or Excel workbook. So the prerequisites for that is undoubtedly we need to have a data source. And the next prerequisite is you must have Power BI desktop application, because that will give you more handy for you to generate that report. And a dedicated workspace, that's optional. If you want, if you are OK to publish your workspace, report as part of your standard workspace, my workspace, absolutely good. But I prefer, I advise to create that under a dedicated workspace so that it will be easily be able to maintain that report. So I'm going to show you a standard way of creating Power BI report. Again, in this time also, I'm going to create a very basic report. To get that, go to get data, more. When you go on to more, looks like my internet is OK. There you go. Online services, SharePoint online list, say connect. When you say connect, it will show you all the lists as per the given your site URL. My site URL is the practice say version 1. Here also I'm going to select the same budget details. So let me search for budget, country budget details, and say this is my data. As I was saying just before, I'll show you what I mean exactly. Once the list data got loaded, if we examine the data now, my budget and spent amount is not coming with Sigma. Ideally, that those two should come with Sigma, because those two are not text fields. Those two are a number field. How I can address that is go to data modeling. Under this, go to the budget. Go here. Change the data type to whole number. Yes, go ahead. When you change that, I'll automatically be able to see the Sigma. Similarly for spent amount. So once that is done, we are good to create the report. Same old, I'm adding a slicer. Under this slicer, the first few things is I'm going to add one simple, stick color report. Under this, I wanted to show a very simple thing as month level report. Month level report, very same thing. I'm not going to change anything, but I want to show you what is the difference when I use this report and when I use that report. I support both because both has their own advantages and limitations. Now, next one is the under value. I wanted to add budget. There you go. I got this report. Now, the next element I wanted to add as part of this is again a pie chart with my category level. So when I come under that, spent category is going to be my legend. There you go. And my spent amount will be a value. One more is to show the country level. Allocated budget and spent amount. So here my first legend would be country. Which is nothing but title. And next one is the two values, budget and the spent amount. If you notice earlier, this one showing as the country name, but here it is showing the title, which clearly shows that in this approach, Power BI desktop will take the internal names into consideration. OK. Next one is to add this sitemap to show the state. I'm just trying to replicate what we have done in the previous time and wanted to show you the difference. Oh, I think I did a wrong one. It should be the group actually. Now the first one is group, which is a state name, and the value is, I wanted to say spent amount is the value. Depends on that, the size will come up. So that's one. And last but not least, again, the map I'm going to use here. State name is the location and spent amount is the size. Now, in this scenario, what do is we have to publish. When I say publish, it will ask me to save it in a local copy. I'm just naming it as Power BI integration. So now that it is done, it will ask me to select the workspace. So I'm good to select with my workspace. Select that. Now this will publish onto my workspace. Remember, all we did is we did only the report. We did not do anything else. Now once I'm done with that, now if I go to my workspace in Power BI, under my workspace, under reports, oh my goodness, Power BI integration. This is the report, right? This is very much got exported to my workspace. Now this I wanted to add as part of my Power App. See what happens if I create one more screen here and add the Power BI title. Now if I go here, my workspace, but I will not be able to see my report, because all this while what we did is we just created only the report. We did not create a dashboard for that report. This control of this Power App can only be able to understand dashboards. So how I can do that is click on this ellipse. See, pin this visual. When you click on this pin this visual, it will ask you which dashboard you wanted to attach it onto, or you want to create a new dashboard. But I don't want only this one segment of the report. I want the entire report to be associated, right? Now, when I click on edit, it asks me, it will give me an option to attach the entire report. Now, when I click on pin to a dashboard, now this will give the entire report as part of a new dashboard, or I can also be able to add to the existing dashboard. When I click on new dashboard, it will create a new dashboard, Power BI integration dashboard. Now, when I say pin live, this will create a dashboard for my report. Now, this is a dashboard. If I go back to my Power App and just simply remove this and add this control one more time and say go to my workspace, under this I should be able to see that. Maybe it is taking just a minute. Let me refresh my screen. So meantime, let me answer the questions. Will this rendering be always with the upload data from SharePoint list, the 3-hour refresh you mentioned earlier? Yes, it refreshed the data every 3 hours as per the Microsoft documentation. And the next one is, hi, could you please put me on the presenter list? Okay. Now, next one is, okay, now again, go to Power BI report, select the workspace. This time I can see Power BI integration dashboard. Once I do that, it will ask me to select the report. Since I exported the entire report as one single tile, it is giving me an option to just select the entire report. Okay, next one is, I don't want any border or anything. Now, if you see the beauty here, earlier, the last time when I do that, it asked me, or it showed me an option to save as and everything. But this time it did not show me any option to save as. That is the difference between integrating the Power BI report in that approach and this approach. Okay. Any questions on this? So the next one is schedule a refresh. If you create a Power BI report using this approach, you can absolutely be able to schedule the refresh rate as you wish, and you can schedule multiple schedules. How you can do that is, under the Power BI report, select the dashboard and select that refresh button and schedule. Once you select that schedule refresh, it will let you take you to the next screen, wherein you can schedule a refresh rate of that report. Let us go ahead and do that. Now, if you go to this, sorry, where is that integration tool? Why am I not able to see that option to refresh? For some reason, I'm not able to see that option for that report. And if you come to other report, I can show you this is also a dashboard. And at that dashboard, I can see a refresh option, select the schedule refresh. It will take you to the data sets of that. Under that, you can select the schedule refresh, and it has, first thing is you need to turn on that, and you can say daily, weekly, or what time it is. Even this schedules, I can appoint multiple schedules so that my system will be refreshed as per the schedule whatever we have provided over here. Okay, so this will refresh multiple times, but the previous approach, it will only refresh once in 3 hours. So that's all about the integration and the analysis of that Power BI report integration into Power Apps. If you have any questions, I'm highly available in LinkedIn and Twitter, and that's my YouTube channel. You can see all the various new learnings as part of this channel. This is my channel, and under this you can see all the responsive apps, how you can create and components. I always, as I said, I always go to the community and look for all the frequently asked questions and unanswered questions. I'll take them and I will just create a video for you guys. That's all about today's session from me. If you have any questions, the floor is open for questions. Okay, if there are no further questions, I would say thank you so much for attending my session, and I'll leave the floor to the next presenter so they can take over that.
Thank you, Krishna.
Thank you, Mark.
There is a question by Moiz asking, after creating a dashboard, how to integrate it with other apps or web, like a share market index or a live trading index?
I don't think this works for the live trading index. I never tried that. That's a good point. Probably I'll have to try it out on that.
Vilenia is asking, will this rendering be always updated data from SharePoint list, like 3 hours refresh you mentioned earlier?
Yes, it refreshes once in 3 hours. Unfortunately, we cannot be able to change that refresh rate.
There's a question here. Can you embed this Power BI report into Power Apps?
Oh yes, it can, which is what we have seen. We have seen just now. There are two ways to embed, and both the ways we have seen. One is with SharePoint list out of the box report generation, and another one is generating a report directly on Power BI desktop and integrate that into Power App.
So Hilia is asking, what version of SharePoint is necessary for this auto report functionality?
It works on SharePoint Online. Any version of SharePoint Online. Unfortunately, we all know that SharePoint Online is only one version, so this feature is not available as of today for SharePoint on-premise. So you must have to have SharePoint Online.
Jane is asking, if I've read somewhere that only professional pro users can view these SharePoint Power BI reports.
Yeah, that's a great point. I just wanted to show that to him. Now, if you see here, the user who is Krishna, right? Now, let me go on to site permissions. And go to site settings and go to site permissions. I can check permissions and say David Wilson. Check now. This guy is only having read. Hope you all agree with me. This guy is having only read permission. Now, if I log in as David, I should be able to render these two reports, right? Now, if I just go onto incognito window, login as David. 1 second, let me get his credentials. Sorry. Meantime, if you have any questions on Power Apps, I can answer all the questions, whatever you have on Power Apps integration related.
And whilst you're logging in, Valinia is also asking, can this type of reporting be done for multiple SharePoint lists together?
Yeah, I have never tried. Probably a good question. I have to try on that. You see that? This guy is only a simply reader. Now, if I click on budget report, budget details, yeah, he has to register that, sign in. When I sign into this, yeah, he doesn't have Power BI on his name. One moment, when I just sign in with try Power BI for free, yes, please. Just a moment. He doesn't have a license on his name. A simple license, at least a minimum license has to be there. Licenses. If you see here, he doesn't have a Power BI license at all. I'm just assigning a simple Power BI license. It doesn't have to be a pro. Again, I'm telling you, it doesn't have to be a pro. Assignments. Sorry, unfortunately, I'm running out of these licenses, trial licenses. But I have tried. I have tested this, my friend. It is going to work as long as you have a simple Power BI license. You don't have to be pro. It
Thank you.
definitely works.
Thank you for confirming that,
Canvas,
Krishna.
how is the dashboard security implemented? Would they also need a Power BI license? Yes, they need a Power BI license, a minimum license. They don't have to have pro license. They need to have a basic Power BI license. Visibility to specific data based on the access privileges. Unfortunately, no, David. Once you report, that's the warning message we get while we are publishing the report. It clearly says that all the data which is rendering as part of that report will be visible to everybody. Can we see this report from a mobile devices? Yes, as long as you render the SharePoint list on your mobile, yes, you can definitely be able to see as part of your mobile.
Thank you, Krishna. Thank you for sharing your information. Could you also share your contact details in the chat so that the attendees can easily connect with you as well, Krishna, please?
Oh, sure. I am just sharing my screen, I believe.
Yes, you are. Yeah. Just for those who are accessing the chat, just so that they can. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Yeah, fantastic, Krishna. So once again, thank you, Krishna, for this. We've seen a lot of great sessions over the past couple of days, especially with Power BI scenarios, with Power Apps, and with the larger ecosystem. So it's great to see this use case here very much. So thanks again, Krishna, for that.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
There you go. That was Krishna, very infamous blogger, YouTube now, future use Power Platform YouTube star, doing some great content for the community there. Thank you once again, Krishna. Okay, so we have another 8 minutes left till our next session, actually.